being technical. Come on, he's debating a rabbi about this. Okay, all right.
It's the micro versus macro, so he doesn't want to go to macro.
All right. Well, I appreciate.
But
you
he
all.
wants to lead you there. And then he did say it with the mosquito. He said species jump. Carpenter Tom went back and looked it up.
It depends. One of the difficulties there is the definition of species, because I think there are dozens of potential, and not being able to interbreed is one of the definitions. So it depends on how you're measuring species, whether or not that counts or not. I wasn't watching the debate when he said that, so I've got no opinion on what he said. But the definition of species and when speciation actually occurs, and if we've seen it in reality, I mean, these are thorny questions that are very technical.
His attempt at making the species jump was the London underground mosquito.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point in time, they had theorized, these theories without laws, they can go wild. They had theorized this was a new species of mosquito. And then they ended up finding out, no, it's a specific other species of mosquito that's just had slight adaptations for the living environment. And it's not a new species at all. And so there wasn't, he was trying to prove the species jump, which is something that can't be proved.
Well, we can prove that there are genetic.
Well,
we can prove that there are genetic changes due to adaptation to the environment. We can prove that there are species that have seen new genes come about and genetic changes over time. And if you add enough of those up over time, you can certainly theorize that would add up to a new species if two things diverge far enough.
Again, you got to theorize. Why don't you have?
What are you talking about? We have animals on this earth who are so close that they can interbreed, but who are so far that they don't have fertile offspring.
But
lions and tigers, horses and donkeys, polar bears, grizzly bears, certain kinds of dolphins.
No proof in theory.
Well, but this is again. There have been a couple of times on the show, and I hope this doesn't come across very badly, where some unscientific things have been said. Science isn't in the business of proving. Science is in the business of accumulating evidence and seeing what hypotheses are consistent with that evidence. And so far we have, and so science is about falsifying hypotheses. Which hypotheses can we falsify? And this is why so far we have failed to falsify evolution. And so evolution remains a valid hypothesis.
So it's unfalsifiable?
I beg your pardon?
So it's unfalsifiable.
No.
The problem is
guys like this, like you wasted everybody's time. Sorry, I'm going to respond to Clay's point.
You wasted half an hour explaining mineral habit and then pretending like you somehow knew the time frame that created said mineral habit when that was actually the poor guy's actual question. So you spent half a fucking hour explaining mineral habit. And I understand mineral habit is a science and it's provable. You cannot prove the time frames any of that happened. That's the thing and you try and drag the things you can prove that are actual science and the things that you just theorize and mush them together and pretend like it's all one thing.
Exactly.
The fact that you have minerals in your car is down to the accuracy of geochronology. And you can pretend that isn't
mineral habit.
You can pretend that isn't the case.
Cars just happen.
I let you speak the first time, sir, and I politely refrained from talking over you. But I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do it a second time.
Money to read money when we all can't get along and figure out how to work together at a conversation. I just read money and I love it. Dragon Fist says, we love you, Andrew. Craig won the debate but lost the panel. Good job, Ben. Ben proves the failure of the U.S. education. Get Benjamin off the panel. Wow, they didn't like you over there earlier.
I did prove the failure of the education system. It fools like that are uneducated on how science actually works, and then drag theory.
Yeah, you can't keep your mouth shut for 30 seconds.
Things that they can't prove with laws into it. They're uneducated
The
fools.
super chat
And
was
Science deniers telling you
Mr.
how to do science.
Mr. Thrash says, I apologize for being gone for weeks, guys and girls, but I'm back under my other ID. I'm Sarah's little shit. You guys are still idiots, I see. Yes, sarcastic saint, you little fucktard. I hate you. I love you. Aaron, God needs humans to speak for him. How weak is he? Could be is not an argument. Evidence is king. Nunny says, I love the way those from Britain insult you in the most benign way possible. I don't know what that's referring to. Tom sends his love yet again. Reminder to all of you, if you're going to send in a dono, send it in with a hashtag Vegas. He says, hashtag post Vegas fun. Rock on, maters. Gonna see if my body will let me walk a bit. Be back. Own it, panel. Lewis says evolution is not true. Just a bunch of just so stories with no explanatory power. Look at Benjamin. He's falling asleep because how boring evolution is. Iotin, hello, my sweet love. You're back in the house. We'd love to see you. Tom says, okay, bring Spin up for some variety. Let Ant meditate backstage. Later, Ant, $10 pro on animated. Oh, protection for Effigy. Effigy, you got $10 in the credit. Okay. Iotin says, hashtag Vegas, hail Balderson, tomato tax, etc., etc. Hope everyone has a fun evening. It's only just getting started, Iotin, and we've been having a great night all night. Shivak says, hashtag Vegas. Woohoo! Another one. Christians can't handle precise language. PhD Tony, thank you for your sacrifice, sir. Shout out to you there. And Iotin, I love it when she sends the $10 just to autocorrect the autocorrect. She says, oh my goodness. All right, Azron, you had your hand up. Go ahead and ask. I know you got plenty to say, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sarah, I wanted to ask a question, but Israel went off. I wanted to ask the question to Israel and Tony. My phone's battery is very low. So, like, since Israel has gone off, will you again in future hold this topic on evolution?
Yeah, of course. I mean, but ask your PhD Tony's here. You said you had a question for him. Ask it. Go.
Yeah, but since Israel is gone, like it'll be incomplete. But I'll see what I can do because my battery is very, very low. I'll see, Sarah, what I can do.
Go ahead. I'm sure somebody else can
Always
step in
preparing.
on
Stop
Israel's
preparing. Just
behalf.
go.
Yeah. I've made notes on evolution. So, like regarding evolution, Tony, I've made some notes over here from the theological perspective why they say it's not right, and from the scientific perspective why they say it's right. Can you answer them because it's a bit long? And oh no, my battery is. I'll have to go, Sarah. My battery is too low. Sorry, Tony. Sorry, Sarah.
Okay, fine.
bye, Azroon. Good to see you, brother man. Come back when
Yeah,
you're
bye. Yeah.
Oh,
Good to see you, Asvarun.
Yeah.
So to give a generic answer, I realize he didn't get to make any of his specific points. But so far, evolution, then this gets back to Clay's point about evolution being unfalsifiable. No, there's plenty of evidence that could be found that could falsify evolution. If, for instance, humans and chimpanzees were completely genetically distinct, that would falsify evolution. If we found a Pegasus,
Hold on, bonehead. Hold on, bonehead.
if we
I
found
have been listening to
a
this
Pegasus,
bullshit.
I'm not going to.
There's only
I'm
one
not going
person
to
that'll tell me to
stop
shut up,
talking
and
and be
it's not you.
interrupted. I'm not going to stop talking and be interrupted.
Trust me.
Thank you for your input. You could find
Well,
a
you didn't
find a
get to my
Pegasus
fucking
in
input.
fossil
Well, here's
records.
my fucking input.
That would falsify evolution.
Here's
So
my
evolution
fucking
is
input.
falsifiable.
Bert
We just
Toast and I
haven't
came
found
up
any
with a
evidence
fucking question.
that can
I can
falsify
talk
it.
over you. Trust me.
And so
In all fairness, Tony, Spin, I did skip you in front of Spin earlier in order to give you a seat on the panel. So I think, and he's been back there for a couple hours, mind you. You skipped a very long line. So in all fairness, if he has something to add, and I think it would be rightfully so to hand him a little bit of the floor.
Okay, sure.
Sure, that's her politely telling you to shut the fuck up because you've done nothing but talk. Stupid bullshit. Well,
Yeah,
here's
to
some
the
more
point,
stupid
Ben.
bullshit for you. So Burnt Toast and I came up with a question. So
Someone
basically,
is heavily breathing
it's a
into their
chimp.
mic.
Help.
Yeah,
Someone
somebody
is
is
heavily
heavily
breathing.
breathing into the mic.
If a chimp can stick its finger up its ass, so basically you're saying I can do the same, right? And I'm evolved.
Why do you even open your fucking mouth?
What the fuck?
Shut up.
That's what you came up with in the last
Hey,
stream.
liberal, shut the
to
fuck up.
breathe.
No.
See, Tony, you are very well protected in this space. I wouldn't worry too much.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they're all fucking everybody. Almost everybody's a fucking liberal.
Oh no,
Answer the
pobrecito.
fucking question.
But at
You're
least
the
we're not
doctor.
brain dead.
Did you get
That
your
is true.
doctorate offline?
Sorry, the question was, can you stick your finger up your
No,
ass?
that's not what the question was. Get the dick out of your fucking ear, and I'll fucking ask it again.
What is with the insertion?
Would you like me to ask the
going on?
question again?
This unearned bluster is insane.
Hey,
Would you?
Spin, why are you
Every
so
time.
obsessed with
Not
dicks?
particularly, no. I didn't want to talk to you in the first place. But go ahead and ask your question again, or not. Just fuck off. See if I care.
And take out all the inserting into butts and
Says
stuff.
the
And
man
just ask
from
a
across
regular
the
question.
pond that's got a fake fucking PhD. Trust me.
Across
Well, we
the
don't
how
have
much
that.
you want
Whoa,
to bet on
why are
that?
we attacking?
Question again.
How much do you want to bet on that? I'll bet you 10 grand I do have a PhD.
I wouldn't go.
money.
Oh, I could get a fucking PhD offline too.
Hold on, Spin. You can't. Nobody can. I wouldn't go discrediting people's credentials, right? Unless you've actually gone and researched who PhD Tony is, where his credentials came from, whether they're credited or not. If you've
Somebody's
done
still breathing
research
into their mic.
and want to, and KO Dave, get off your mic. It's not a dick. If you want to discredit him, at the very least, do your research first and then come at him with some kind of, I don't know, reason why you believe his PhD would not be true. But to
Okay,
just
fine.
use that,
Then I'll ask the
that is
question again.
add-on. Okay.
Then I'll ask the question again. So you're saying so basically your idea of evolution is if a chimp can stick his finger up
No,
his
no
ass,
sticking in the butt.
can I?
No.
Why do we want to stick things in butts?
What does that even have to do
Is
with
this another
evolution?
gay panel?
Ask
These
your
reactions
question without any insertion, please.
So
Everybody's reaction is
what
killing
is
me.
what is
how
the
do I
question?
so that means I evolve, right?
No.
Sticking things up your butt does not cause
Why don't you
things to
try and
evolve. I
see?
don't think you know how
I commit sodomy,
reproduction
therefore
works.
I
I mean,
evolve.
bro, like, come
Is
on.
that the through line? I'm
Shut
so
the fuck up,
confused.
basement dweller.
That's
I
not
asked
that's not the
Hold on.
argument. That's not the evidence in support of evolution. It's got nothing to do with evolution.
Iotin with the hold on. Iotin with the
Spin is-
pun intended. Good job, Iotin.
That's great.
Well
All right.
played. Well played, young lady. Well played.
Wow, did that shut all of you guys up? Howard says, "Nah,
Where do you
I'm
go
with
from there?
Spin on this." All right,
Huh?
so we're enjoying.
If I may. as
Go
well.
ahead, Clay.
Spin, I think, is pointing out de-evolution, which is actually the whole mosquito problem, the mag fly or whatever that fucking shit is. Like the idea that, okay, so there's related genetics, but that doesn't necessarily mean that one came from the other, right? So if we're in the same genome, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden one day,
50% potato, 50% broccoli.
yeah.
So
I mean,
what's
that's-
like the other
at some
measure
point,
for relation?
like, here's the
then?
thing,
Okay.
huh?
What would be like a different measure for relation that is more accurate then?
I mean,
Because
because
when parents do like a genetic tests on their children, or when you do like a Me23, whatever the fuck it's called, you base that off
Spores,
of like
mold,
genomic
and
sequences.
fungus,
You base
sir.
it off the
Spores, mold,
DNA
and fungus.
of you compared to other people in
right,
your
right,
lineage.
yeah. And
And
then
that
you
is
look
how
at
you
the-
determine relatedness.
Well,
So
within evolution,
what would be the
it's-
other usage of this?
Within
Because that's how
evolution-
evolution does this too.
Right. Yeah. Evolution uses it to say, okay, these animals are related to these animals. But the truth of the matter is, all life has some genetic relation. Like, it's just because it's life,
Yeah,
all of
this
a
is
sudden
predicted
it
under evolution.
Yeah, we only know
has
that
to
through
come from-
evolution.
one comes from another. That's just a guess. It's not an actual fact, right?
What do you mean it's a guess?
I mean, like, so mammals
Well
are
played,
in their
Tom.
own.
Well played.
Yeah, so mammals are a thing.
Conceivable that they're
reptiles
not
are a
all
thing.
related.
We say these things aren't related if we're talking about evolution, but they came from a specific. Like, it was actually the thing that Ben brought up, which is
No,
how
in a
are we
distant sense,
related
they are
to a bat?
related.
Well, it's,
Y'all
have
the
DNA.
question was how are we human beings related to a bat? Now there is a common
Related-
ancestry. There is a
Okay,
common
relatedness
ancestry.
is just a function.
There is
of
a
it.
there is a common ancestry in
There is
evolution.
a
No,
Oh,
there
sorry.
actually is. I just looked it up, bro. It's like some shroom.
Yeah, they
creature.
diverge.
Wait,
like
who's
a-
who's
But
disputing
when-
this?
when the
I just
question
told
was
you
asked-
earlier
when the
that
question-
how
when
we
the
measure
question- when the
how
question-
biologists
when the
measure
question- when the question-
relatedness
when the question
between
was-
two
when the
species
question
or
was
two
asked- when
people.
we que-
If you're
you know
talking
what?
about
What I'm
ancestry,
saying is because
specifically
bones
is
can't
related to
I
genetic
don't hear either
similarity.
of you. I don't hear
don't
either
know
of you.
why you're debating me on this.
What I'm waiting for you to shut the fuck up and answering your questions. Don't. Be a
I'm
retard.
waiting for you to like make a claim that can be contended.
Well,
here.
shut the fuck up so you can do that.
Wait, you're the one making the contentious
No,
claim.
you're still
not me.
talking.
But you told me to
But you
shut up
keep
so I
talking
can make
every
a
time I
contentious
talk, you
claim.
want to
So
start talking.
I'm just very confused as to what you want me to do. Do you
Yeah, I
want me
know
to
you're
shut up or do
confused.
you
You're
want
a
me to
retard.
speak?
Yes, you're very well confused.
I'm confused that you want me to both
Okay.
shut
You
up.
just
We
make it out
can,
and get it
we
over with.
can
Okay.
either sit here and dick measure, okay, or I can one of you can get to a point, or I can hand it off to someone else who actually wants to have a conversation.
I
Your
have,
pick.
but I want to ask the question without Bones interrupting. So the question is very much this. Ben actually asked it earlier: is how are we related to the bat? Okay, and then my point is this: there actually is in evolution an actual creature that they say we are somehow common ancestry. But when the question is asked, all of a sudden the evolutionists say, "Oh, it just is. It just is. It just is." Now, if you believe in evolution, but you're unwilling to look at the evidence that's been presented to you according to your own belief system, I call bullshit.
Okay, so great.
But
So,
no, that's,
wait,
that's a fallacy.
PhD,
that's a
can I
logical fallacy. Can I
can I-
respond to that?
okay.
Is it a
Yeah, go
logical
for it.
fallacy? No, I want to hear PhD Tony.
So-
not
so the-
Bones. You're a
so-
retard, dude.
So the claim is
Okay.
because Craig didn't look up the answer, therefore evolution is false. That's a logical fallacy.
No,
Actually, Clay's even misreading it a little bit. There's a
Mhm.
consensus that it's something like a prairie land shrew. They don't
Right.
even know. They don't even actually know what this parent thing
Yeah.
is. They're just like, yeah, well, we think it was probably a prairie land shrew, and
Well,
you guys
it's
pretend
true.
like you have facts when you in that part. That part's the important part
that is the
where
important
you
part.
got to go. We
And you know what would falsify? Do you know what would falsify the evolutionary hypothesis there?
Yeah, if you don't find it.
If you found a modern human skeleton in the same layer as that prairie shrew, or if you
Which
found
one you find shrew?
or if you found a fully human skeleton in the Ediacaran, or
No,
or
actually,
if
that would prove that there's human beings that existed during that time frame, which is supposed to be apparently like millions
that
of
would
years
be
ago.
completely
time frame of
unrelated.
any of it.
It would
He
be
keeps jumping
completely
over that.
unrelated to any other animal alive at the time.
But what I'm saying is I don't actually like. I'm actually not even with Israel on this whole millions of years things, right? So I actually believe in the 6,000-year-old model. So I don't even go with his bullshit.
Then you're
I don't-
demonstrably wrong.
Well, you could be absolutely wrong too.
because you
I
can't
could
prove
be,
that
but
time
the evidence,
frame.
but I have evidence supporting. I have evidence regarding the robustness and the reliability.
Which I don't believe is
of
actual
vehicle.
evidence.
So the fact that you have petrol to put in your car, is in fact due to the
The
accuracy
oil exists
of
there.
geochronological techniques.
Oil exists,
And
therefore
you
you know
can-
the
and you can
time
say
frame of
it doesn't-
One at a time,
geological
you can't
event.
hear.
You
One at a
can
time, I
say
can't hear.
Well, here's the thing: oil exists. That does not necessarily mean that you know when oil all of a sudden started to exist.
Clay, it's not just the oil; it's the fact that you can predict the time frame at which oil could form. You find the pockets in the specific layer where that oil forms, and guess what? You can extract it from there.
You can predict where it's at
based off of radiometric dating, my friend.
Okay, how does radio?
I know we've had an extensive
this is great. No, actually, this is perfect. This is perfect. How does radio dating work?
So specifically, you take some type of isotope, that isotope over time is known to have a decay rate of some X. Over time, the amount of parent material exists versus some sort of daughter material existing. You figure out where in the time frame that would be, and that's how you determine the age of the actual rock.
Decay rate is the actual basic definition.
Well, the decay rate is just some type of
decay rate. How long does it take for that particular element to decay? Correct. That's it.
Specifically, the half-life.
The half-life, right?
So,
how long does it take to observe
isotope of that element?
How long does it take to observe that?
It varies.
We can observe that very, very precisely.
Yeah, depending on
observe
what
that
element,
very,
right?
very precisely.
Now, how many years have you had, or the scientific community had, to observe these things?
40 years.
40 years. Okay, I'll give you 150. I like to do this for the evolutionists, for the Big Bang people. I like to give you a whole 150, the entire span of the scientific community. 150.
Yeah, obviously, accuracy is not your strong suit.
Yeah, that would be more like 400.
I'm giving you extra. You don't like it, but I'll give. Okay, you want to go with 40? So how many?
You just don't understand how it's
how
not a
many
flex.
times? How many times have you seen the decay rate? How many years have you been able to observe the decay rate?
Every single year. What are you talking
Is this you don't know that it's actually a stable decay rate?
So you say 40
argument?
years. You say 40 years. So how is it that you can tell me what happened 50 million years ago?
So we can observe the decay rate, right?
Yeah, the decay rate, right.
We can measure the decay rate. And we know that the decay rate is the decay rate is dictated by the weak nuclear force, correct?
Okay.
They wouldn't know. PhD tell me they don't know that.
Okay. We know that the weak nuclear force is one of the fundamental forces in nature, correct?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So we know that is not prone to vary.
No, we don't. We've only observed it.
Hey, Clay.
Oh, here it is.
And
Here
you're
it is.
saying
Understand what
years of
the
extrapolation.
definition of prone.
What?
The clocks that you rely on also rely on radioactive
Prone.
decay.
What
A
does
lot of
that
things
has
in
been
wrong.
changed.
Okay.
Because he said it. He
Google it.
said it. I want to know
Uh-oh.
what the word prone means. Not prone to vary. What does that mean?
So we do not see variations in the rates of radioactive decay in the elements that we've considered. And we check those rates against other physical processes to determine whether or not they're reliable. That conclusion is reliable.
So when a particle falls off, okay, how long does it take, right? And what I'm saying by that is, okay, each one of those elements, each one of those atoms, right, when those particles fall off, right, when you see that happen, okay, when it happens, you're telling me there's absolutely no variation.
And Mama Tomato, I love you, Mom, is reaching into her boot bag. Compliments of Toasty. Toasty sent her a shit ton of money, I don't know, like a month ago, and she's been handing out her credits measly across the board. Natural selection, you got the boot. You go to the back, and she wants to bring up evolution is gay. Probably the name sounded fun or something, or maybe she just felt like this would be interesting. All right, back to you.
So we don't observe variations in geochronological decay rates. So there are some radioactive decay processes that show variation. There's a lithium beryllium transition, but we don't use that for geochronology. Also, rates of radioactive decay can change in the interior of stars, but again, we're not in the interior of a star. So no, we don't observe geochronological radioactive decay rates varying.
Well, not inside of the asshole of a camel either, but we'll not make the fucking argument, did we?
Hey, Shaman, how's it going?
PSG, Tony, you dare come on here and argue against God, Almighty Father, but yet at the same time, you spend your time digging the earth for rocks like a child,
Omar,
like
this
one of my children.
This is like a really interesting Mike Myers impression.
I have a question for
impressed.
you,
Is Stephen
Effigy.
Hawking Scottish?
I'm sorry, when did I argue
Apparently.
against God?
Are you a geologist?
No.
No, but I do rock.
Ah,
PhD, Tony,
on
what
that
is your
one.
PhD in?
Geophysics.
So do you do work with the earth and the rocks, no?
I do
Like a
computer
dwarf.
modeling of geophysical processes.
Okay, so that's a big way of saying that your fucking argument is as in the caveman era.
I'm sure that sounded a lot
That's why
funnier
your
in your
argument
head.
is dumb as rocks. You tell me about evolution. Evolution is Scotland. De-evolution is Australia, where you're from.
I think you got evolution mixed up with revolution, dumbass.
I think
Oh God, Sid.
I think we're in the middle of some sort of like feud between the Commonwealth colonies.
All right, I just looked it up. It says
We're in the middle of it.
So basically, what the PhD, the Timu PhD up there says.
I have to ask. Hold on. I have to ask, PhD Tony. I don't know if you've watched the debates over on the Raging Tomato before, but have you ever watched any of our Gauntlet modes?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, welcome to the Gauntlet, where shit begins to go degenerate. The more the night gets into the moonlight kind of thing over here, the more degen the panels get, and you'll see it. It goes very well. We still have good conversations, but the characters begin to come out. All right, back to you guys.
Stanley, it looks like I struck a chord. My point of evolution is from England. We evolved to be pure Scottish, but PhD Tony obviously de-evolved to be Australian. Is this not true, sir?
Can you explain the Irish?
I'm not Irish, I'm Scottish.
like I said, it's a pretty interesting Mike Myers impression, but just keeps faltering every now and then.
Bones of Doom. You keep your mouth.
Gones of Doom? Gones of Doom? You mean Gonads of Doom because of how big the fucking nads
Clay
are.
went and looked
Tony.
something up. Clay went and looked something up, and he wanted to talk about it, but he was being talked over.
Sure.
Oh,
Sounds
poor
like you've
kid.
been pacified.
Welcome to the Gauntlet, dumbass.
Go ahead,
Like
Clay.
in reference to the breakdown, right? So this is where
Shut
I
up,
have
Stan.
and it's not like a dig at the scientific community. I think they're doing the best they
Hey,
can
boys.
with what they got.
Run your fucking mouth.
What I have
got
a
one for
problem
you.
with the breakdown is that there is an adjustment for time frame, and this is given to all different elements in the isotopes when they break down. They do give a massive gap for all of the breakdown. Like every single time, every single element, when we're talking about the isotopes, it's literally every single time they always give massive, like 50 to 50,000 or whatever. Like, what is that about? Can you explain that?
So that's got to so this is going to get a bit technical, but you can have processes where the daughter product where the ratio between the daughter product and the normally we do what's called isochron dating. Are you familiar with that?
Oh, how ironically I am.
So you take samples from multiple crystals or from multiple different minerals, and you plot up the abundances of the various isotopes. And very often you'll find that they don't actually give an exact answer, but they will lie on a line, and it's the gradient of that line that tells us the age, right? And so the idea of how close they are to lying exactly on that line gives us our error bars. So that's where that uncertainty comes in, is how close those samples are to being precisely on the same line, and that's what gives us the uncertainty estimates.
And Evolution, can you give us a "This is my swamp"? Can you do that? With
This
your
is my fucking swamp.
close enough. This is close enough.
Not angry enough.
Hashtag Vegas. We love you, Ayaton. I don't think it was on point for Shrek, but it was close. We'll get there next time.
I've never
Maybe a little
seen
more
the movie. I
practice.
apologize to Ayrton. Never seen the movie. I am more a Braveheart type of man.
Oh God. Can we get a freedom then? Freedom. Fair enough.
So
Blew your
with
mind.
your-
Wait, can I jump in real quick?
yeah, please. sir.
Specifically to the clocks. You said that there was a wide gap, and I just looked it up to check. Apparently, even using atomic decay, which is not primarily used anymore, it loses about 1 second over 300 years. That's the
Unacceptable.
precision.
Okay, I got you. Very good.
Well, the
So-
simple way of saying this, folks, and most people will understand this, when you're building something and your line is slightly off, it starts off an inch off, but by the time you get to the other end of that 20-foot fucking wall, all of a sudden you're way the fuck off. It's
Yeah.
a real problem.
yeah,
One that I
carpenters
like
have to
talking
deal with this
about.
particular thing.
Well,
all-
the
Now,
newer atomic
that's
clock.
over 10 million
Which
years.
is why
100
different methods of
million years.
radiometric dating work within
Right.
different time
The
periods.
newer, the newer atomic clocks are
Yeah.
going off the frequency within the atom itself. It's
But
no longer.
also,
that you
So-
have to
so-
actually adjust time for reality anyway.
but you're pretending as though radiometric dating is the only dating technique that we have, and that's not true.
Okay.
Right. We have what's called cosmogenic exposure age dating, which is the accumulation of cosmic rays hitting
Who was
hitting the
pretending that
sample.
was the only one? That was just the first one.
And
shit talked
you
about.
may want to
We
shut
were
up
touching it.
since you've clearly never heard of
Shut
this
up.
thing before while I explain it to you.
Fucking
So,
wiener.
Well, now
so
nobody's
cosmic
heard of
rays
this
hit the
before
sample,
because nobody's
and
talking
they
about stones and
produce-
evolution.
They produce exotic nuclides.
What the
like
fuck does that have to do with
helium-3 or
evolution?
It's just a different
we're
way to
talking
measure
about
the
geochronology,
age of something.
Perhaps.
Have you ever
Is
seen
that like
two
measuring
stones
your
full-
dick?
Similarly,
You ever seen
No,
two
fair
stones
enough.
full-
You measure your dick
Hold
with
on,
time.
hold on. Okay, there was one interruption, then there was another interruption, then another interruption, and then a fourth interruption. And how long? Like how many times? I know PhD Tony is new here and he's not familiar with gauntlet mode. But even that shit's fucking annoying the fuck out of me. If you're interrupting him just to say what he was going to fucking say. Go ahead, Tony.
Okay, thank you. And there's a technique called amino acid racemization, which relies on the transition from left-handed amino acids when an organism dies, and they transition towards right-handed amino acids. And you can look at the concentrations of right-handed versus left-handed amino acids to tell how long the thing has been dead. There's layer counting, dendrochronology, Varv chronologies, ice core chronologies, speleothem chronologies, and we can use there's magnetostratigraphy. I really butchered that one, didn't I?
What is that?
So you look at the strength of the magnetic field through time. When crystals land in water, the orientation that they land with is actually influenced by the strength of the magnetic field, the strength and the orientation of the magnetic field. And so you can look at the pattern of these sediment where the crystals align in these strata, and you can tell about the strength of the magnetic field and its orientation relative to the modern field. So it's a very different sort of technique, but you can correlate that with what we know from geological data. In the geological data, it's sort of the same thing, except that it's crystals in lava that are, as they solidify, they adopt an orientation that is very firmly fixed with the magnetic field. And that's actually how we know about plate tectonics, is from this paleomagnetic.
Sarah, can I ask you a question? Maybe
Yes.
the PhD Tony would like to have a debate and say, that everything came from rocks, and he can have his own debate. But every time someone asks a question, he goes on a monologue diatribe for 5 to 6 minutes, telling us about stones and rocks and crystals. Well, meanwhile, his argument doesn't make fucking sense. That in a rock's throw across the ocean is not going to get very far when you're trying to argue against people like the Lord Balderson. And everyone can sit here and talk like Clay. Clay said the Earth's 6,000 fucking years old. I mean, that's blasphemy right there alone. But at the same time, PSD Tony's over there in Australia on a little fucking island surrounded by water, so he has nothing to think about except rocks. But over here, I'm here in Scotland, in the Lord's country, and I'd like to know exactly, have you ever seen, sir? Have you ever seen two stones fuck?
Laughter is the best medicine.
Fuck, Simon. Way to bring it all back around.
Have you ever seen two stones fuck, sir?
Got nothing else to think about but fucking rocks.
Can't say that I have, no.
Me
Golden Siva fucking make a gemstone.
Me either. Have you ever, has anyone on the panel tried to fuck a stone? Because I did twice. Let me tell you something, lads. That'll leave a fucking scar.
Here we go. Nani says Brit's insulting you in the most benign way, and we're not supposed to react. Where are you from, Tony? Like what arena?
I'm
do you
actually
hail
from
from?
Australia.
Oh, you
I
are
totally
Australian.
revealed
Okay.
that information 6 minutes ago.
Yes.
Okay.
He was
That's fair.
correct about that, certainly.
Fair enough. And Iotin
fucking
gifting
fun.
out the gift that keeps on giving, 5 Gauntlet memberships. And those are valuable, folks, because every single one of these shows gets put behind that paywall as soon as we're done. So you have to have a membership if you need the replay. This is why we love you. All right. Somebody get us back on track, please. I love you all so much.
Yeah, I got it. So essentially, like, I understand the argument, but that doesn't mean that I believe it, because essentially the reason, and here's the reason why I don't believe it, is the observation, right? And I try to give you like the 150 years, like for the scientific community, just because I'm like, okay, I'll give you all of that, you know. But if you want to go with 40, that's fine. Either way, it's just not 5 million years. It's not 10 million years. You see where I'm going with that?
But
Never
we
mind,
don't need 5 million years in order to see. So and you say that, but actually everything that we've verified against. So, for instance, the rate at which the continents move is very small. But if we extrapolate that backwards in time, we can say, okay, 5 million years ago, we expect. So take Hawaii, for instance. Hawaii is formed by plate motion over a hotspot. Okay, and as the plate moves, it's leaving these islands. And this is called the Hawaii Emperor Mountain Chain, and it's on the ocean floor. And so you can go and you can geochronologically sample all of those things, and you can compare that to the rate at which the plate moves, right? So you can independently check the accuracy of the technique against a different physical process. And now, if they give corresponding answers, then it's if they give corresponding answers, then we've got validation.
Okay, that's fair. Before this happens, can I
I'd like to respond to that, Clay.
Hold on, go
I
ahead.
have the
Go
question
ahead and
because I
finish
want
your
to
thought, Clay.
just kind of leave the thought while he's having his one-on-one. In the Big Bang Theory, the universe expands within seconds. So it's universally recognized that large events can happen over a very minute, very short, extremely short period of time. Universally, it's recognized. Now, why does that not have the ability to transfer to the creation?
So if God wants to make it look, if God wants to create everything and just make it look like everything is millions of years old, there's nothing stopping him. But again, that's an unfalsifiable hypothesis. It's not that I can say that hypothesis is wrong. I can't prove it wrong. That's fine. And if you want to hold that, all I'm saying is that the data we have available to us suggests that is not
like
the
that
age of youth.
I like that answer. That's fair. I'll let you guys
Listen,
get it. Though.
it's
All
very
right.
clear.
Hold on, Mr. Scottish, whatever, dude. All right, Howard, I don't know if I love you or hate you. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna fucking hate you so much that you're requesting this and you paid for it. So I can veto it, but here's what I'm gonna do. Spin. I will only allow this if you cannot call him a name and actually have the conversation. Can you do it?
No.
Without calling him a fucking
Just
libtard,
ask
a fucking this, a fucking that.
You can do it.
Actually have the conversation without insulting the man?
Yeah, ask questions and then let him answer. That's how you do this. It's the Socratic method. You can do it, Spin.
He's already wiped his sweat
Come
off
on,
his
Spin.
brow.
I don't believe in you.
Like, holy shit, I'm already sweating.
It doesn't
Tony,
take a
it
lot
would be
to
a
do it.
miracle.
Do you want to Spin? Do you want to try and see how far you can get without calling him names?
That's fair. He's gonna get like 2
Can we do a
seconds.
death pool? Can we do a death pool on the side over
I'm
here?
totally planning on doing like take your bets now.
I've got
Put-
50 seconds.
All right, this is going to be interesting.
Put your bets in the chat. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever. The top amount that he can go is 5 minutes. All right, that's the highest.
I'm
So
giving 5 seconds.
between 0 seconds and 5 seconds, without calling Tony names. The minute you call him a name, like you can still be insulting. You just can't call him names. Okay, got it. All right, I'm going to let this go. The minute you do it, I remove you. So this is your chance to get all your questions out.
I'm going to
Here
say
we-
46 seconds.
Space game.
All right, panel, give me your seconds count. Ben.
46.
50.
Kay, you said 46?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
46.
Wait. I can do it.
I give you 2 seconds.
I can do it, but you cannot restrict me from other people on the panel.
Huh?
Huh?
No, this is
cannot,
speed date.
You cannot
This is
restrict
just for the
me
speed
from
date.
calling somebody a name that is also on the panel.
Spin. This is just a speed date.
He knows he wants to be able to talk shit about other people
He
so that
wants
he
to
can
be
still
called-
talk shit.
It's calling
This is a
someone a
stipulation
dirty
specifically
bastard.
for the
The
speed
He
date.
wants to when PhD over here says something. He wants
This
to be like,
1v1 is the
"Oh,
theme
you're
for
a
tonight.
piece of
Stupid
shit,
versus
Holmes."
science.
You're just like Effigy.
Energy.
No, if you do that though, that is calling him a name. Because if you say
This
you're
is-
just like Effigy, that's actually calling
Maybe
him
it's
a name.
time to give me the atheist effigy one-on-one, that dirty cunt.
All right, the rules
Oh
are
my
set. You've heard
All
the
right.
rules.
Kay, what's your time?
46 seconds.
Effigy time.
I'm going to give him a minute and a half.
All right, Santa.
15 seconds.
Spin, how long do you think you're going to last? No, yeah, he already knows. 0. Bones.
5 whole seconds.
Clay.
2 seconds. It's either 2 seconds or the entire time.
Of evolution.
Within the second sentence of that man's mouth, he's gonna call that lad a bastard.
All right. I'm removing everyone from the panel. I'm going to set a timer on my hand. Oh,
How
that's-
much time? How much time?
No, I'm going to start the clock. You have 5 minutes total.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Let me see. Okay, that's what I want, a stopwatch. All right, I'm removing everyone else from the panel except for Tony and you, of course. And Tony, I'm working here trying to make sure you can actually have the conversation. All right. And so we're going to see how fast this goes. As soon as I remove myself from the screen, I'm hitting start on the timer. Remember, you cannot call him names.
Fair.
You
are
cannot
not
call
fair.
him names or insults or whatever. Okay. You can
You're not
still
fair.
cuss, but you can't call him names. All right. Ready and go.
So let me ask you something. So if something is written down 5 million years ago. Has to be true, right?
No.
Where do you get your rhetoric and your bullshit from?
I get my what I treat as true is that which has been substantiated and robustly tested by the scientific community. The time at which it was written down doesn't matter. Is not a factor. Something could be written down. You know, the God hypothesis was written down thousands of years ago. It could be correct. I don't judge it just on age. I judge it based on the evidence in front of me.
Okay, so is there any evidence that God created human?
To my understanding, no, I don't think so.
So then you wouldn't believe in Adam and Eve?
No, I would definitely believe that Adam and Eve has been falsified as a hypothesis.
Mm-hmm. So then you would agree that Adam and Steve, then, right?
No.
So tell me how we as humans got on this earth.
Through a process of gradual development through evolutionary processes.
From rocks?
No, from organic compounds that entered a self-replicating cycle, self-organizing cycle, that eventually produced living organisms.
Mm-hmm. So, like broccoli and cauliflower, right? Grow from the ground.
Yes.
What is your proofism to that?
Well, you can go out and you can observe them growing
So
from the ground.
you're trying to tell me that I just grew like a stalk of broccoli?
No.
Or our ancestors, or whatever you want to call it.
The divergence between plants and animals was fairly early in the evolutionary tree, but we both developed from earlier single-celled organisms, and we
like
gradually.
the Phaedosaurus Rex, right?
No.
How did they get here?
The what?
A Tyrannosaurus Rex or a Phaedosaurus Rex.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex, they came through a very similar process, evolution over long time scales, and then they died out because of climate change.
Mm-hmm. So then, how would a moose get here?
Same process.
Same process. So we basically grew from nothing.
No, we developed from organic molecules that were self-replicating, so they could make copies of themselves from other organic materials, and they could construct ever more sophisticated chains, and so that process led to the development of the original organisms. Now, once you've got organisms in existence, then you've got sort of response to environmental pressures, and that kicks off evolution.
Mm-hmm. So you would agree that we do not look like dinosaurs?
Yes, I would.
Mm-hmm. And you would agree that we don't. There is no such thing as a fire-breathing dragon?
That's correct.
So that's fantasy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mickey Mouse is fantasy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So how did the human brain develop?
So brains are a response. You know, the ability to recognize and respond to your environment is what defines life. And the more sophisticated the more accurately you can assess your surroundings and respond to it. Assess your needs, assess what's a threat, assess what's food. The better you can do that, the greater the advantage conferred on you. So there is evolutionary pressure towards being able to accurately recognize your surroundings and respond to it. And our brain is so far, the highest available expression on Earth that we see of that process of being able to assess your surroundings and respond to it and manipulate it accurately.
Mm-hmm. And so what you're trying to say is there is process, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We're done now. We're good. My 5 minutes is up.
Holy
You made
crap.
it full 5 minutes.
A whole 5 minutes.
Proud of you, bro.
Well done.
He's about to unload.
I can't believe it. Can we just take a moment to be proud of Spin? Spin, take your bow. Take your bow, sir. You did
What a
it
good
now.
personal moment.
Take this Spin and know that you can 1,000 billion gajillion % do every Q&A without insulting the guests. I'm so
He can
fucking
do the
proud
Q
of you.
part.
You know,
That's
the
like
problem
listening,
is,
I
he's
think.
saying it
quietly now because he actually developed a brain aneurysm during that.
Did it hurt, Spin? Did that hurt? I'm so proud of you. You have no idea. I knew you could do it. Tom Carpenter says, the following is the fault of the chat for letting us get to 4 minutes to the goal. If one uses the finger to guys, the analysis of tonight's discussion, one will likely canalize the mind with banality. Lots of anal talk compliments.
So here's the punishment. Here's the punishment to the chat that thought that I couldn't do it.
Even you said you couldn't do it, Spin.
I did. Here's the punishment. I
timer's still
paid my
going. My
reparations.
timer's still going. Let's see how
I
much
paid
longer
my
you can go.
reparations earlier. Okay, I paid my reparations earlier. Okay, so for those fucking morons that that said that I couldn't do it, has to give Sarah #Vegas $10.
All of you motherfuckers.
And if they don't, and if they're on this panel, boot them the fuck off.
Oh, well,
Boot
I
'em the
can
fuck off.
say, let me get through some more donos because Howard said Chad Spin versus Virgin Tony. Now, Howard, my question to you is, are you asking for somebody else to debate that you are dubbing them as Chad Spin and Virgin Tony? Because if so, let me know in the chat. Tag me.
Spin is a Chad and Tony is a virgin.
Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify and ensure, Howard. If that is the case, then nothing needs to happen. If you do want another speed date with 2 other people, just let me know in the chat to ensure that we have we're confirming you're saying the right thing. Tom Carpenter also says more pain to beat banality. Use analytical site. I can't even say analogies. Making your future bright. Analysis helps the mind leave dark thoughts behind. Shout out to you, Tom Carpenter. And he says, for Spin, becoming a spinster for one night and goal. And then also, yes, technically, Mr. Clay hit the goal with his Cash App dono to say goal. So you guys are 10 over towards the next goal. Shout out to all of you. I love you all so much. This is why we're still going. I love you, Spin. I'm proud of you. I thought you did a great job.
That's okay. And to Mr. Fatto Dave down there, remember remember the comment that you said earlier?
Which one?
You know, told me to shut up and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, just remember, I got one coming for you, Moose. I really got one coming for you.
Here comes the boot. And Stinky says with the big 5, he says, fuck that, copy pasta. Spin didn't debate anything there. Only questions without rebuttal. Another 5 minutes or no dice. Well, technically it takes $10 to get a full speed date. So send 5 more and I will. But he doesn't have to debate it. He was asking questions. It is okay, perfectly okay for people to come on here and ask questions and learn something. Just because you ask a question or you disagree with somebody doesn't mean you actually have to debate them. You can certainly ask questions and inquire further. That is the crux of the platform and what we actually want to do for all of you. Learn something for a fucking change, assholes. All
I
right.
ask a question about the evolution organism that PSD20 said. The problem with saying evolution is organism enter into self-regulated cycles. It is a self-regulated cycles, not an origin. Sir, I have a question for you. Have you ever been to Scotland?
No.
You've never been to Scotland?
No.
Well, if you've been to Scotland, you'd see men there that have evolved into the different level of where we wear the kilts and we throw rocks to measure manhood.
Dresses.
And in Australia, it doesn't seem that you have the same capabilities or competence of masculinity. So
Only
perhaps
$10, chat. $10 to get rid of him. $10.
Mhm.
For the love
Hashtag
of-
Vegas.
for the Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, effigy, you atheist,
Yes.
I have a question for you.
I will try to understand it.
Is it possible?
Wow, the silence.
All right.
Is it possible?
Holy shit.
Is it possible
He's
that the
stunlocked.
only reason why you don't want to understand what I'm saying is because you're afraid that you'll be touched by the Almighty Father?
I don't want to be touched by anyone.
That's my case.
Wow, nobody? Not even a
At
lady?
least, at
That's
least you
weird.
disavowed immediately. Shout out to you for recognizing.
That's because he's not. If you've never, the problem, sir, is if the man's never been to Scotland. My God, he has no idea what it would be like if a man touched him.
The closest I've been to Scotland is actually Newcastle on Tyne.
You got him. And when you came to Newcastle, you were not touched by the Father in heaven, were you?
No.
Are you sure? Hello.
This is getting awkward.
It is getting
Yeah,
awkward.
this is.
I did want to say something, and I'm about to drop, I think.
Sure.
But I'm not. None of what I've tried to say is anti-religious at all. That's not what I'm trying to argue. I'm not trying to argue that anybody should abandon their religion. I'm not trying to argue that Christianity is false or that Judaism is false. If you have a belief in God, I am saying that the evidence suggests that a literal interpretation of the Old Testament is not supported by the evidence. That's what I'm suggesting, and so that's all I'm trying to say here. I'm not trying to argue that anybody. I'm not trying. And if there was a claim made that I said that religious people are stupid. I don't think I would ever say anything like that because I myself was religious for 30 years. I don't think that religious people are ignorant. I don't think that they're stupid. They've chosen a belief, and that's I myself had a similar belief for a long time. So I'm not trying to say anybody here is stupid. Anybody here, but there is a lot of evidence in support of the age of the Earth. Please research it and get better versed with it. That's all I'm saying.
It was fun.
Also,
sparring.
there's no
We're just
sex
like
in the
so much
champagne
fun.
room.
As
It was fun.
Varun-
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, Tony. I hope to see you back for real. This was
Okay.
I
fun.
would say there has been a lot of evidence of stupid tonight.
That is true.
Or maybe the lack of evolution. I mean, actually, Tony, can I ask you, can evolution kind of can we de-evolve? Like, can we get more stupid? Can we
Certainly,
lose points?
if there are environmental pressures that punish people for intelligence, certainly, I can't conceive of what they might be. It's actually, if we artificially, in fact, actually, it did happen. In the Middle Ages, IQs in Europe dropped because preferentially the most intelligent and thoughtful people were taken out of the gene pool. They were turned into priests, and they stopped contributing to the gene pool. So yes, it has happened that our intelligence, that our overall intelligence has been negatively impacted by pressures.
What if it's maybe like maybe not a pressure But what if it's like I don't need intelligence, right? To like, for instance, we have AI coming in and doing all the work for us and all the thinking for us in a lot of different directions. So like the lack of necessity for something. For instance, if I didn't need a tail anymore to swing from the trees, naturally my tail is going to go away because I don't need it. I can walk now, right? Something to that degree. Or if need teeth, if all the food surrounding me is all like applesauce, I don't need teeth anymore. They're so like eventually they just go away. Is that a possible?
Yeah, if we enter an environment where brains aren't really useful, and where things like there's a disease that causes swelling in the meningitis, that causes swelling in the brain, and it kills people. Or it can kill people. So if meningitis, for instance, became more prevalent, then having a smaller brain would actually be an evolutionary advantage. And the fact that we don't need brains in any other sense to survive, there'd be nothing to counter that. So yes, there'd be pressure to become. As Varun is in the chat on StreamYard, and he says he wants to ask me a question.
Oh yeah, his battery must be. Ant, I'm just going to tuck you back again for just a second, and as Varun, I'll leave it to you to talk to Tony, and everyone else leave it uninterrupted as Varun has been waiting patiently.
Hello, Tony.
Hello.
I wanted to ask you a question regarding evolution from the scientist's perspective, Lamarck and Darwin. And then I wanted to share some points regarding the theologian's view of why evolution isn't real. I just wanted your view, Tony. Can I read it out and can you just follow it and answer? Like, is it okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony. Lamarck proposed use and disuse, organs strengthen or weaken. Point 1, 2, inheritance of acquired characteristics. Lifetime changes become hereditary. The innate drive towards complexity, organisms naturally progress. Evolution was seen as need, effort, structured change, inheritance. This is often called transformational evolution. While whole population shift because individuals transform, strengthens, transform and strengthen. Rejected the idea that species are fixed. 2, highlighted adaptations to environment. 3, sought a natural, not supernatural explanation. 3, Darwin in detail, mechanism, natural selection. Darwin's logic, individuals in a population vary. Some variations are heritable. More offsprings are produced than can survive. 4, those with advantageous traits leave more descendants. 5, over generations, those traits become common. Evolution is therefore variation, differential survival, and reproduction, population change. This is population level, not individual level change. Key points: variations arise without regard to need. Selection is blind, not purposeful. Extinctions and branching evolutions are fundamental. 4th, new species arise by divergence. Darwin did not know about genes. Heredity was it was a weakness in his theory until Mendelian genetics was integrated in the 20th century. Philosophical difference: purpose versus blind process. Lamarck. Nature strives towards improvement. Organisms actually adapt themselves. Darwin. Not inherent progress. Adaptation emerges from filtering, not striving. This shift from purposeful change to mechanistic statistical process was revolutionary. Evidence then and now. In Darwin's time, Darwin used artificial selection, breeding pigeons, 2 biogeography, island species, 3 fossils, 4th compositive comparative anatomy. Lamarck relied more on reasoning from function and habit and less empirical testing. Modern evidence favors Darwin. DNA mutations create variations. Population genetics produces evolutionary change quantitatively. Experiments, experimental evolution, bacteria, fruit flies. 4th, genomics tracking